Clark Middle School agenda art. You could be famous. You could have your work published in the Clark Middle School agenda. Oh, how awesome is that? So you have a paper, gives you some guidelines. I'm going to talk you through that. Our first, number one in your outline is the front cover. The front cover is full color. This is 2 years ago. It was done by Kennedy Shepard, and it has CMS, the year 2010-2011, and then it has a nice play on words here. It says cruise ship. It's like a cruise ship, but it's spelled C-R-E-W''S, cruise ship. And then she has a bunch of little panthers. A little side note on these panthers, they look really similar to the pink panther. You can't make a pink panther because that's copyright, but these are yellow, so it could look similar. It just can't be an exact copy. And then her slogan at the bottom is, "We are a crew, not passengers." So the front covers will be full color. You need to have the year. You need to make sure that you have CMS and then a slogan. So this year it was, or 2010-2011, "We are a crew, not passengers." Last year's was done by Nai Ortiz. Nai, sorry if I said your last name wrong. And the slogan on that one is Panthers, we are Panther proud, CMS pride. And it's in color. And then she just filled in the outside with CMS. You need to make sure that in the lower right hand corner your name is printed. If you make a really swirly artist signature, then I need for you to make sure that you print your name on the back as well. Okay? Number 2 on your outline is the back cover. The back cover will also be full color. So this was last year's, done by Kaylee Nelson. And she has perseverance, responsibility, integrity, dynamic, and empathy. You need to include all 5 of the character traits on this page. 2 years ago, we were doing a different set of words. It was the 10 design principles, but we switched. So this one is a primacy of self-discovery. We're not doing the primacy of self-discovery this time. This would have been a nice drawing for pride. The words could have fit in here. It could say perseverance, responsibility, integrity, dynamic, and empathy in those lines there. Now this drawing, it came from one of my books, one of my drawing books, and she drew it from that book. So if you want to use a reference picture, absolutely okay. I usually use a reference picture. Now this one was done by Maya Hightower and Kaylin Roberts. And if there's more than one artist working on the same piece, you both need to sign it. So the back cover will also be in full color and needs to include the character traits like this one. Alright, now let's look at the inside of our agenda. And these will be your 10 or your 5 character traits, but they will not be colored. This one is by Christian Walker, and this was 2 years ago. Remember when we were doing different character traits? So you'll have to adapt. I'm going to show you what we've done in the past. It'll still give you an idea. You're going to choose a drawing that you like. You should choose something that you like to draw anyway, and then adapt it to the character trait. So I'm going to go through these. They are different than our character traits now. This one is collaboration and competition, so you've got 2 skateboarders and they're both leaning back to back. This one is diversity and inclusion, so it's a bunch of dogs and then 1 cat in the middle. So they're all different, but they're not chasing off the cat. The cat is still they're including the cat. This one is empathy and caring, and you have a whole world of little creatures holding hands. This one is done by Olivia Crouch and Josh Ray. Let me back up here. I forgot to give these 2 artists. This one is done by Jessica Willman, actually, one artist. This artwork is Jasmine White. And Jasmine had the natural world. So she drew irises here, and then the sun, and a little river. So these are not going to be colored. This one is Odin Hart's. It's the primacy of self-discovery. And this is one of his original drawings. This one is by Giovanni oh gee, I'm still going to mess up your last name. Banuelos, boy, that's it. And his was responsibility for learning. So he had two cats, two panthers on the stage. This cat is getting his diploma, and these cats are going, woo, yay, responsibility for learning, yay. All right, this one is done by Olivia Crouch, and this one is Service and Compassion. And it shows here people going to a bake sale, they're raising money, people giving presents, people spending time together, and then a community garden on the ceiling. This one is Solitude and Reflection. It's by Tobias Womack. And he just has a man sitting quietly, reflecting, chilling out. This one is by Michael Murphy and Jessica Willman. And this is Success and Failure. The big dog, epic failure. He has no bones. Little dog, tons of bones. Tons of bones. Little dog, success. Big dog, failure. Shantanese Thomas, this is The Having of Wonderful Ideas, and she has a pyramid here with a light bulb on top. Ta-da! Wonderful idea. Okay, this is 2 years ago, and okay, the first one is The Primacy of Self-Discovery, and there's a little guy here reading. It's by Isaac Wendland, W-E-N-D-L-A-N-D, and he's reading, and then out of his mind are all these amazing things for the primacy of self-discovery. Here we have Diversity and Inclusion, Michaela Augustine, and she and the alien, clearly different, but they're including each other. It's all about the love. All about the love, baby. Here we have Success and Failure by Bo Zamora. And this guy here has successfully worked out, looking like a stud muffin. And this, couch potato, failure, epic failure, not even trying to get off the couch. This one is by Jose Garcia and Victoria Mejia, and is The Having of Wonderful Ideas. This drawing right here was one of Victoria's original drawings. I believe Jose is the one who did the text. I think what happened was Victoria was struggling with the text. She didn't get the text in there the way she wanted it, and Jose was good at the text, so they worked together. And then it's just this Superman here, super hero with a light bulb. Dun da da! Wonderful idea. Here we have Empathy and Caring by Shelby Sermons and Kelsey Wooler. And these girls, they're totally talking about it. Some other girl. What's wrong? It's okay. I'm here for you. Everyone's making fun of me. Ha ha ha. Hey, look, she's trying to be popular. So her friend over here is comforting her because these boys, jerks. Here we have Collaboration and Competition, and it's by Aaron McGee and Jordan Pouncil. And what they're showing here is that they've got basketball on one side, football on the other side, collaboration, working together, plus they're competing against one another as well. Here we have Responsibility for Learning. We've got, let's see, this is by Cassie Rye. We've got Albert Einstein up here, Amelia Earhart here, and then the world. This is a fabulous drawing. This really is a nice drawing. And then it has books all stacked up. And then the last one is Dallas Clayton. And this one is a really amazing drawing. It's the natural world. Now, a word of caution. Dallas's original drawing had way more contrast, but because he put all this texture in here, it lost its contrast once we sent it to the printer. So that's something you really need to be aware of, is that you need really strong contrast, because now it's really difficult to see his drawing. So now what you're going to do, okay, so all of these drawings on the inside, you're going to do the 5 character traits: perseverance, responsibility, integrity, and dynamics. And those all need to be in black and white. No color on the inside drawings. I'm going to show you now how to work on a grid drawing and how to do your lettering. So I'm going to use a pen. I totally recommend that you use a pencil. And I'm going to make a grid. I want to draw this right here. So I'm going to make a frame around it, as close to the image as I can. And I would recommend for you that you find images on Google. I Google images all the time for references. And then practice drawing those. So you want to divide it in half horizontally, divide it in half vertically. Any space that is a little bit more detail, you want to divide it again so that you can get that detail in there, get the proportions correct. Now, I would recommend also that you use a ruler when you do that. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line across, vertical line across, and then in the bottom half of that, it's a little bit more detailed. So I divide that up again. I don't feel like I need it at the top. And then I just do space by space. So the first space I see is just that circle. I'm not going to draw the books in here right now. I just want to draw the circle. So you can edit things out as you go too. Now the second space over here, I see an oval. That's the thumb, and actually that thumb is a little bit lower than that. Remember that you need to plan on editing. Don't plan on getting the whole thing right the first time. I would not be using a Sharpie marker right now if I didn't need you to see really clearly. Definitely these guidelines, I do those in pencil. So I see it. Now I'm in this quarter right here. Actually, it's 1/16 now. I'm going to make that oval, and then I see a vertical line here. It goes into this box, and I'm just drawing one square at a time. I'm wishing that I had a pencil right now because I'm used to editing, and you need to get used to editing too. Don't expect to have your drawing perfect on the first try. That hardly ever happens. Use light lines, and I'm looking in this space right here, and I can see that this finger goes almost to the quarter. And this finger goes into this section here. Section there. And then the world comes down there. So that's how you do a grid drawing. You break it up into smaller spaces, and then you make the same shape proportionately, the size that you need it. You're doing your drawing on an 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, just a piece of typing paper. Okay, now let's look at text. Put this down. I'm going to write CMS Pride. CMS Pride. So, look on this is actually number 4 on your outline. The grid drawing is actually number 5 on your outline. So look back at number 4. And step number 1 is I'm going to count the letters that are in my word or my phrase. I also need to count the spaces in between if I have a phrase. So I want CMS Pride on one line. I want it as big as I can get it here. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, this space right here, that's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have an odd number. I'm an odd number. So I know that in the center is going to be my middle number. So I've got 9 numbers. So number 5, this P is going to go in this space right here. Then I know I need 4 more spaces. Use your ruler to map those out. Now the reason it's really important to do this is because you don't want to have letters that start off and then they get smaller, or like you run out of space and so it gets really small at the end. You want to map that out from the beginning. So then I would lightly draw in just like this. C-M-S-P-R-I-D-E. I put my letters on there, but I'm not worried about them being perfect right now. I'm just kind of figuring out where they go. Then I'm going to come back and make those letters fancier. I'm not going to try to get them fancy the first time. I just want to get a basic guideline. So anytime you're doing a drawing, you want to start general and work to specific. Work general to specific. S's are tricky. The way I do an S is I put a diagonal line at the top and the bottom. And then, I actually need this to be a little bit wider there. And then I connect those. S's are tricky. And I just fill out. You want to have your letters shapes. You want to make your letters shapes, not just lines. The lines will disappear in your background. You need for the letters to be very bold. Bold. Make your letters bold. Okay, make sure you use a pencil so that you can erase out if you need to. And go for it. Alright, make sure that you follow the directions on the paper that I gave you. Edit, 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 edit. Do not expect to get it right on the first time. Edit. Check it out. I made 2 P's in a row. That needs to be an R. There we go.